Every time that Hollywood thinks they're getting what they want, it seems like they're always just stumbling over their past hypocrisies and bringing new ones to light. So let's talk about this.
Whoa!
So what we have to talk about today is Stephen King, the self-proclaimed cocaine addict. At least back in the day when he wrote about a lot of things that are very unsavory. Now, his stories, for the most part, a lot of his books are really good, but just the more that he ages, the more that drivel just comes out of his mouth, and he kind of contradicts himself a lot. So let's just go ahead and go on to the latest thing that he has said about the awards ceremony and the state of Hollywood. So he is urging the Oscars to cancel the entire Oscars, obviously prompting black backlash. Not blacklash. Blacklash is what happened a few years ago when they demanded there be DEI prerequisites for any. Oh no, we're not here to talk about that. So he says no glitz with Los Angeles on fire. There he is, the alien himself, the Langolier, the first original and only Langolier. And he wants to banish this year's Oscars to the dead zone. I really love the way that this author of this article put that. And he's the latest celebrity to urge the Top Film Academy to cancel the awards in the wake of the devastating LA fires. Now, we let's just preface all this. I don't care what your views, opinions are. Just the fact that it's Los Angeles, the fact that you keep voting for this in California, a person's life is a person's life, and those lives matter. So, we all have hearts and prayers. Thankfully, our very own Lady Medea Magda, her house was safe. She was only like 9% of her entire community where the house was still standing. So we're very grateful for that and thankful. But that's not the topic right here. So Stephen King is saying that he's not voting in the Oscars this year. Well, in his honest opinion, they should cancel him. No glitz with Los Angeles on fire. Yeah, he just doesn't want to be included at all, which is fine. Everyone has their own opinion. That's fine. But why? Why? I wish, and hopefully this article does bring that up a little bit more. Give me your take on why they should just cancel them. Because whenever it happens on the other side of the country, life goes on in Hollywood. But when it happens to you, it seems like you want the entire world just to stop revolving around the sun just for you. I know I'm coming off a little bit angry right now. I'm not actually angry, but let's draw some parallels. Now, to be clear, this is just Stephen King's way of saying something. That's just him reaching out and speaking to the ether because the Academy has no intention of canceling the show. And it's still set to take place on March the 2nd. So they still have about a month and a half before it's going to come out. Now, the case for moving forward with the Oscars goes like this. And these are not in quotations. This is just the author from this Hollywood Reporter article saying that canceling an award show doesn't really help anyone. Agreed. Also, having them doesn't help anyone. But hey, we're on the same page at least for a split second, a minutia of a part of the time in our lives. But using the massive and global Oscars viewership platform to help raise money for wildfire related causes would benefit those impacted by the fires. I agree with you. Once again, we agree. Yeah, you could use this for the sponsorships. Now, I don't want to hear, like, obviously, a lot of people have tuned out from watching the Oscars and their acceptance speeches and everything like that because everything has become so political and always doing a movement. But this actually could be for good. So, like, use the sponsorships. Obviously, you can have that, like, in your little commercial stings and everything like that. But I think you should try to be like business as usual. Business as usual, meaning like 25 years ago, the Oscars back then. Bring back Billy Crystal. Therefore, any sentiment to cancel the Oscars feels more like an in the moment push to end something celebratory rather than a move that would actually be beneficial. I agree with you again. Oh my goodness. I feel like I might be turning because I actually agree with this person. Or maybe it's just because people, whether or not whenever you take the politics out of it and just think about people as human beings, we all tend to come together a little bit better, a little bit more easily. If you haven't thought about that in your own life, maybe you should think about that now. So, an in the moment push to end something celebratory, well, yes, at its core, it used to be celebratory. However, in the past, it has become basically a platform to push ideology. That's where we're going to disagree with that. But at its core, I'm agreeing with this. An in the moment push because okay, you want a moment of silence. You want everything to stop for you. Well, you know what? You know what? The last time that California wanted everything to stop for them was a little thing called the coof. And look what it did to the economy globally, massively and globally. I know I'm taking that out of context, but anywho, I'm going to keep that one in there. Now, as the Hollywood Reporter is reporting, the prevailing sentiment within the Academy's leadership is that the show should go on in a dignified manner that would help to raise funds for and celebrate fire relief efforts. I can agree with you on this because a lot of people, human beings' lives were devastated by this thing that we're not going to go off into other little like tangents and everything like that, but totally could have and should have been prevented. We're not going to go off into that kind of stuff. That's not the place. This is not the time or the place to be talking about that. Now, previously, the hack star Jean Smart or Jean Smart likewise suggested canceling the program, which routinely draws 20 million viewers, and suggested donating the revenue they would have gathered to the victims of the fires and the firefighters. Well, if you don't keep the show going on, the revenue that they would have gathered does not get gathered. Open your fucking eyes, man. Okay, what the fuck even is this statement anyway? The revenue they would have gathered to the victims of the fires and the firefighters. Well, if they would have gathered it, that means they should still go on with the show. So why are you suggesting canceling the show? Because that's how they would get the revenue in order to donate that in the first place. Do you does any of Hollywood ever fucking think for themselves? Does anyone think logically anymore? I highly doubt it, but let's go on. Now, Smart's post received some blowback, as did King's, of course, because they're completely out of touch with the normal human being and the people who just so happen to be the consumers of their products. Now, even among his followers in the left leaning blue sky, you'll never find me over there. I don't even have interest in looking at it and checking it out just for research. Now, readers largely push back on the idea of scrapping the show. And this is some of the readers saying the award show worker had months, years without pay due to COVID, then union negotiations, and now the fires are wrong. And this one supports the industry. I don't, I would disagree with this, but hey, from this is obviously a left leaning person. Support the industry? No, but there's ways you can do things for good. You can have good intentions and goodwill towards things that you absolutely despise. And maybe that's a little bit crazy on my end, but I think they should go on with it. And instead, you know, just be a philanthropist and all the money, nobody makes any money from going to the Oscars or holding the Oscars. Everyone, you have to do it of your own accord because nobody can force you, at least not in a free America. So while we're still free, if you had your way, we wouldn't be free. While we're still free, yeah, just give up any money, any subsidiation, any subsidiaries that you would get just from having the Oscars. Give that as a relief fund. That would be the right thing to do. That would be the humane thing to do. But it seems like people are a little bit grifty, money hungry, and purse clutching. Now, the last little part of this another comment from a commenter talking to Stephen King. America needs a good distraction from all the pain and suffering we go through on a daily basis. That's show business. You should know this. The show must go on, and by all accounts, it will. Boom. There is someone that I probably don't agree with on a personal level, saying it flat out. The show must go on. That's what you've built your entire industry on. That's what you built your entire career on, knowing that the show must go on. And maybe just a little hint to your brain. Hopefully it gets through. Hopefully the deviated septum or somewhere you can receive this information because it's very hollow. It seems to be very hollow in there nowadays. The show must go on because you're in Hollywood. You're in entertainment. And what is entertainment supposed to be? First and foremost, engaging and also escapism from real life. The rise of Hollywood came during war times when people wanted to see things. Yes, a lot of it was propagandized. We understand that, but it was some way to keep people from feeling so daggum depressed about what's going on in the real world, across the world, world wars and everything like that. Escapism and entertainment, that's when it became super popular and became a mainstay in American culture. So you might want to go back to your roots, the roots of your entire industry, the roots of your entire career, and think about that next time you try to cancel something, because the only thing that needs to be canceled is your fucking mouth. I don't I don't advocate for cancel culture at all, but I can still say whatever they want. Fuck you, Stephen King, and start thinking again. If you guys have anything to say down in the comment section below, you are free to talk your shit. This is Multi Maldi from the GCA. We will see you later on this evening with Hold My Dual Shock. It's going to be a great show. Y'all have a great day. Bye bye. Now, previous. Will you just fucking stay there? What is wrong with you? Just sit.